that was happening as the crew went in separate directions for rest and recuperation and like also just whatever these three are doing down here, huddled around the computer.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're going straight into it. Okay.
Are we gonna do a little recap or?
Yeah,
you guys want to do a recap?
I'm moving so that I can see tokens. Bitch!
There's some down here.
Close the door.
You forget I have to stream this. It has to look at least semi-entertaining.
Did you close the door on?
I guess he's not in this scene.
Oh, fuck.
Everybody survived and piled into the apartment at the same time, and information was shared. That's the recap.
Yeah, we talked a bit about what we all found out. The aftermath of the concert and everywhere all the people involved in it kind of scattered about. Most everyone that we knew personally got out semi-okay. Cal was arrested and is in jail, but I think they have connections to Ghost Protocol, so they'll be okay, right?
And it was kind of expected that Cal would end up in jail because the cops were targeting the headliners.
Yeah, people on the poster.
Most of the headliners got arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people know their names, so they can't be disappeared. So Cal is safe.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest part of it. It's like, they're gonna get him, and they're gonna stick him with some kind of charge somehow. But they are going to be safe because if anything were to happen to them, it would be bad.
Mm-hmm. So they're gonna get arrested, but they can't just vanish. Legacy also contacted Longview and got so much evidence of police brutality in the riot. Just all of the cameras in that area, I think, was sent to Legacy. And Legacy also commissioned Longview again, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. If you want a challenge, I think.
Yeah. Gave him a little bit of a tip, a little bit of a bribe, thanks to Ben Getty. But got his help for the next part, though we don't know how much help he can be because it's less of something that he has worked on before.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't thanks to Ben Getty. It was thanks to the asshole tax.
Yeah, we have this card.
Thanks to Ben Getty because he's just always like that.
No, it was thanks to Ben Getty.
He contributes to that tax.
Give wallet.
We gave the card from
right to Spray or to Veloska
to get medical supplies. Ben Getty paid for food and for Longview.
Just Legacy just grabs his wallet. He's like, "Hey," she's like, "I need this. Hold on." What are you gonna do with the money? Buy more protein juice, protein powder?
Like
he does like his
less than $1 per shake. You don't need all of this. I'm using it.
He does like his nutrient slop.
Oh god, I'm now imagining, those videos of like the thick smoothie bowls?
No. What? It sounds from the way you describe it, I'm not excited about it.
Smoothie bowls are actually really good.
It's okay.
They're really good.
There's like this one guy who makes I see the YouTube shorts. Imagine a smoothie, but incredibly thick that you eat it with a spoon in a bowl, and it's like a blizzard where you can just like turn it upside down and it stays in the bowl.
Okay. So it's kind of like soft serve almost?
Yeah, it's kind of soft servy, and you like top it with other shit. So like coconut flakes and granola and berries and things. It's almost a cross between like smoothie and parfait is what it turns into.
Okay.
They're actually really good. Now, if they're
I'd try it.
Like super thick, it's a little bit more questionable. But I've eaten smoothie bowls before.
Yeah, super thick. Can turn upside down, levels of thick, and can't leave it there. Here, if you don't mind a slight derailment, here is a 10-second YouTube short. I'll put it in the Blood and Neon chat, I guess.
Yeah, fuck it.
I am bleeding. I'll be right back.
Okay, we'll look at Smoothie Bowl.
Oh wait, here.
In other news, while we're waiting for Iris, I'm going to probably recruit a few of you to help me this weekend just a little bit, because I want to fuck around with trying to get an actual decent, like, streaming overlay for tabletops going.
Ooh, okay.
Now that there's, like, enough character art to actually, like, put to everybody.
Hell yeah.
I am not going to say it's going to actually work, but I
we
need
can
people
try.
to actually, like, look at it and see if it does.
Hell yeah, I'm down.
I'm down to try stuff.
Obligatory Twitch chat. Gang.
We had 2 new followers yesterday. I don't know when.
Let's go! Alright.
Now I just need to, like, make everybody just take one session that's got, like, a whole bunch of us in it. Everybody has to go, like, comment in the Twitch once. And that'll get me the next tier up. Because I need 5 people talking at the same time.
Everyone in session, yeah, open that shit up. Say some shit. I have been the goodest noodle about that. I'm always there. Where's my gold sticker?
Your gold sticker is that you can generally be like, ban this person, and I ban them.
Mods, get him out of here. We don't want to buy viewers. Cringe. I think that's what me and Charlie did once. Just cringe.
I start seeing the chat go, like, crazy. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? You guys are just like, cringe.
Get him out of here. Man, thank you for changing the Kaya token.
Yeah. It's no problem.
Artifer makes me so happy.
This one's cute.
It's so cute.
Thick Kaya.
I mean, she's still thick. It's just a headshot.
I know, but I appreciate thick Kaya.
I mean, that's still canon. Like, she's still thick. The art's still in chat. But I really like the lighting in this one.
It's neon.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, I was listening to an Overwatch story thing earlier today.
Oh?
And it had Junkrat in it. And I just had the thought of, like, Junkrat is what Bingetti would be if he was in post-apocalyptic rather than cyberpunk.
Oh my god.
Oh, you're right. You're dead on. Cursed and true.
Also, Joe. So, I have a question/request.
Yeah.
So, do you... okay. Could Kaya have previously made, like, essentially spanning, like, this... shit. Not what I wanted. This area right here. Right? Next to her bed, along the wall, probably under the TV over here. Just, like, a giant, like, I guess, somewhere between a dollhouse and a giant, like, gerbil habitat enclosure for all the drones.
Like basically like an aquarium with no, or something that they can all, like, run around in.
Yeah, it can run around in, but they also can leave whenever they want. it's got like basic like little mini furniture like a dollhouse, but it's also just got like things that are drone safe and shit. A tablet wall.
Permanently play like a tablet permanently playing educational videos.
Yeah, with subtitles and shit.
Sure. You can have built like a little
tubes.
play area.
Yeah. A little play area / dollhouse for them to like live in. Okay, cool.
I'm totally
Thank
fine
you.
with that.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you. A place for her children to run around in.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
Are you okay?
Blood
Yeah,
stop.
I'm fine. Yeah, I think mostly.
Mostly? You get bandaged?
From a leak.
Blood's supposed to stay inside the body. At least most of the time.
I'm good. Sorry about that.
It's all good. We were just chatting.
Where were we? Right. Recap.
Right.
Was there anything else with the recap, or are we good?
I think that's about it. Voloska left. Yeah, we're secretly rich. We made a box to house the space rocks in that Lockhart just grabbed and shoved in a backpack.
Yes.
Voloska went to get heal fast juice.
And the nerds have been set to go find out shit.
Yes.
While
With the
rest of
makeshift
us sleep for a little bit. Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh.
Do we need to reschedule or something?
Yeah, that seems
kind of
good. If you can't talk, it.
No, I'm fine. I can talk. It just hurt, so I removed it from where it was.
Okay.
And now it hurt less.
Okay.
It was just really bloody. That's all.
Okay. Okay. As long as you're good, because we can just take a break or reschedule.
Yeah.
Like, that seems kind of serious.
I really want a session, though.
Oh. I mean, if you're sure, but you gotta remember, health come first.
It's not going to grow back. So this is like do you need to go see a person about this now sort of situation?
No. It's not something I can, no.
Okay.
Sorry for derailing.
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
I'm just concerned about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like we haven't been bullshitting ourselves for the past, 15-20 minutes.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard it, but now it's canon that there is a giant along this wall over here, cross between a gerbil enclosure / dollhouse for the drones.
Cool.
With, educational tablets playing stuff with subtitles and shit.
Why don't you just make her closet?
There's shit in there.
Can you move it?
Where?
Somewhere.
But.
And at the end of last session, there was 2 requests for 2 different conversations.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Back on track. Yeah, I think
Kaya
that's
and
it.
Lockhart's conversation and a Legacy of Woloska conversation.
Why don't you go ahead?
No. Kaya and Lockhart, Legacy talked a lot last session.
I only asked so that the ibuprofen can kick in.
Ah, gotcha.
Sorry.
Unless we need to do housekeeping first, Joe.
No. We don't need to do housekeeping first. just whoever wants to have their scene. I'm prepared to go.
I
Yeah,
guess if
I'm down with waiting.
we're waiting for meds to kick in, then that'd be Legacy talking to Veloska at some point when he returns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So at some point later, Veloska would come back with some medical supplies, like an armful of like a grocery bag of goods.
Imagine Legacy tasked one of the drones to wake her up when Veloska came back, and so just like very carefully extracts herself from the room where Marcus and Sprite are passed out.
Mm-hmm.
How is she? Is she recovering as she is sleeping? Is she good?
Right?
Legacy.
Oh, Legacy? Like the sleep helps a lot. It like, if nothing else, you feel more refreshed. You know that kind of sleep where you wake up and your body is just kind of heavy, like you just like full power off mode, and your muscles are like stoked almost with extra sleep energy, and they're just hard to move a little bit. It's kind of like that really, really heavy recovery period. If you're wounded at all, you can heal some wounds.
No, she just had a strain, which is bumped all the way back up when she sleeps. So. Drags herself out of the room. Is it just? I know we like set Valerie?
Yes.
Up on a couch in the living area, and the nerds are in the living area. Is Valerie still passed out and the other three still entertained?
Valerie's still upright. She probably is she just seems restless. So she's kind of standing upright, tapping her foot, still kind of anxious, wanting to move. She is a woman of action, and she does not like stillness. The nerds are still huddled around the computer, but Veloska has taken up the couch to start sorting the medical supplies that he has brought. In it, there are various like needles and chemicals and what you recognize as slap patches and painkillers, all sorts of things that are going to be helpful for you and for Lockhart and for Kaya and for Marcus as well.
So I guess, yeah, Ratchet grabs a bottle of water as she's approaching and just kind of like observes from like over the back of the couch for a minute as she's like sipping on the water before she inclines her head towards Veluska. Did you find everything you needed?
He reaches for a glass of, you're not sure if it's water or vodka, but it is a clear liquid. And he reaches over, grabs it, takes a sip, and just nods, holding the liquid in his mouth for a second before swallowing. And he makes a kind of like an appraising look at all of the stuff he's got, and then crosses his fingers, like kind of knits his fingers together and sits over and kind of hunches over. He looks over at you. This is the least I could do. There's not much. And he gestures at the supplies, which, like, his hands are big, so him carrying like a single grocery bag, even if it's full, does not seem big in comparison to him.
At least tell me you drained that asshole's card.
He just kind of smirks to himself and then wipes his nose a little bit with his thumb. Maybe not, but I did enough. It's not cheap. And he gestures to some of the needles that are sitting on the table with some type of chemical that you don't think is something you can just casually buy over the counter.
She smirks. Imagine she kind of moves around and sits on the arm of the couch, like putting her feet on the cushion. So she's facing Veloska, and she'll take a glance towards the three in the corner before kind of lowering her voice just a little bit to make sure that she is talking to Veloska and not distracting them. So, I don't know what equipment you have with you, what you can do. And she just kind of like gestures around herself. I just have a little bit of paranoia that maybe you can help with.
He looks up at you and raises an eyebrow. What is problem?
Well, you remember where I was during all of this with a little machine that Ben Getty made?
He nods once really slowly.
So, neural overload is a thing in that, I'm pretty sure. And I got very close several times.
Squints his eyes. You want me to, and he gestures towards his own head. Check up here.
Yet I don't know what you can do, but what you can, I'd appreciate.
He looks over at you and then he sniffs once and then turns and grabs his bag and sets it on the table. And his hand, the mechanical one, starts clicking and rotating into place, and he flips to a different type of medical tool, and then he'll turn back to you as he's like kind of got his bag and he's got his tools ready. He sits, or he not sits, he pats the couch, like on the couch cushion proper, like sit down fully.
She'll scoot over, and I imagine kind of like turn to where she is like cross-legged instead, facing him.
Mm-hmm. He goes through some very simple things at first, like checking your eye, making sure your pupils dilate, checking your ears, making sure that there's no like blood vessel bursts in the eyes, checking redness, all sorts of little things that a typical doctor would look at and around. But as he's checking, he'll run through a gambit of questions asking you, like, if you feel dizzy, if you feel lightheaded, if you had any nosebleeds, if you had like any sort of like blotches in your vision or any weirdness. Just a rapid fire series of questions. And I assume Legacy would answer truthfully to all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a good patient for the most part.
From the honesty, from all of your honest answers, the only thing that would give him any sort of pause is the nosebleed one, because he doesn't see anything overtly wrong, but he reaches into his bag and he pulls out a scanning tool. And you would recognize this. It is a cybernetic scanner. It's meant to detect cybernetic. It's like it is sort of like an X-ray machine that also like will scan through the body to find issues with the hardware that can't be seen from the surface. And he would scan it over her arm and where at the base of where her arm connects to her shoulder. And he'd scan around the sides of her head for any sort of modular implants around her head. Nothing comes up, but he doesn't seem satisfied with it, because he like the impression you get is that he wanted to find something so that he would have a solid answer to give. But he just kind of exhales and there's a little bit of dissatisfaction in it. And he just goes, seem healthy. Cannot account for nosebleed. But, and he gestures to the rest of you. From the surface, all is in order.
And Legacy nods. She kind of scratches the side of her nose as she turns her gaze to where she's just kind of like watching what's flashing across the screens in front of Cosmic. Yeah. Oh no, it's just something weird though. The machine, the full dive, when you come out of it, it's supposed to take a hot minute to run down and get you out, but apparently I just popped out. And she's like, makes a popping noise. As soon as I wanted out, I was getting out.
His eyes just kind of scan you, and he's looking very hard at you. Not with any sort of disdain or anything. He's just trying to scan for anything, like just combing your face and the corners of your head and like every last bit of detail he can absorb. He is trying to take it all in to see if there's something to see on the surface. And he makes a face. Just if something was wrong, likely it would manifest by now. But we're not concussed. There's no more bleeding. And he gestures to your nose. Something could be changed. And he inhales and then exhales as he says, but I don't know what. Not yet, at least. And he gestures to his scanning tool in his bag. I'm sorry.
She shakes her head again. Just kind of like waves the sorry off. Well, I mean, this is weird shit even for your expertise, I imagine, so figured I'd take a swing, but I wasn't expecting much. The over-under on me just randomly stroking out is in my favor, though, hopefully.
He kind of purses his lips for a second and then reaches into his bag and will pull out a little packet that is of some meds. And this isn't in the grocery bag, not the things he just recently acquired. This is in his doctor bag, things he's had for a while. And he pulls out a little, like a push pack of some kind of pill. And he checks the back of it. And there, of the however many pills there are in this little packet, there are some that are still there and the rest are missing. There's still only a few left. And he looks at it and tears off two, and he hands them to you. If your head starts to... And he kind of holds his hand up beside his own head and gestures like crunching his fingers down, making like a very tight fisted gesture. If head starts to... I don't know the word. Feel heavy. Hurt. But not headache hurt. He gestures to the pills. Pick one. If really bad, take both.
Legacy looks at the pills and nods. Just kind of see your fingers wrapping around them, kind of not processing exactly what they are, but very clearly like, okay, I have a plan, I have a course. And she tilts her head. Have you heard of Okay, above table again. Remind me.
Uh-huh.
Netrunners are a thing, right? That plug in?
They are, but it's exceedingly rare. This is like top shelf tech.
So she just like tilts her head towards Voloska. You know, it's not a standard guy on the street, but you read anything about Netrunners? Heard anything about them?
Takes a deep inhale, and you can see his eyes. Like he looks up towards the ceiling and then searches a little bit and just kind of goes, I had a patient once, said he was serious hacker. He says that with quotation marks around it. Worked on some big job. Did not tell me what it was, but said described situation similar to what I think you were doing, but he just kind of waves dismissively. Could not know for sure. That, and he gestures to the pills, is what I gave him. Hemorrhaging, and he gestures with his hand to the face, like his head was hemorrhaging blood out of the nose, eyes, ears.
Like it's just immediately like, ew. Gross face.
He nods and he's just like, yeah.
Okay, so be cautious in plugging in anything like that again. Understood. Waking up smelling blood is bad enough. I don't need it. She just like gestures around her head.
He says something really quickly in Russian that you don't speak any Russian, right? Legacy doesn't speak any. Okay. He says something really quickly in Russian and then like stares at you. And he shakes his head and he just goes, you wake up smelling blood?
I mean, I had nosebleeds that were wiped away. I could still smell it.
He gestures to the back room like, no?
No. She like double checks that she did not have a nosebleed.
He nods. Ugh. He says something else in Russian, like as he leans back and exhales. And he wipes his forehead, just like he misunderstood. Like you woke up smelling blood literally moments ago when he walked in, and he's just like, what the fuck?
There's like a blink as she's processing, and then there's a smirk, and she shakes her head. I'm pretty sure that if I was bleeding, I would not be the one out here talking to you.
He tilts his head at that. Boyfriend?
Boyfriend, best friend, both of them would probably run out screaming, and then Kaya, so the entire apartment would be having a fit. If you haven't noticed, I'm usually the one not bleeding.
He just kind of nods and will smile at that and then reach over to his glass of drink and take another sip. His mind just seems to wander now.
And she just kind of smirks and gives him a pat on the arm. Look at that, you care.
He side eyes you. He doesn't say no, but he takes a big, hefty left hand and just shoves you a little bit, trying to be playful with it. But he just has a lot of weight to put behind it.
you not seen Legacy's dad? She's used to this. She just kind of like rolls with it and grins. And look at all of this. Going from, well, not great start to saving an entire space station. Veluska the hero.
He smiles at that, but it's more faint. And he looks over towards the nerd brigade who are huddled around the computer, all like looking and pointing and like doing their own thing. And he just shrugs and shakes his head a little bit. Not me. That is you. And he gestures to the rooms with his hand. Them. And maybe, and he looks over his shoulder towards Valerie, who is like standing off, looking towards the door, tapping her foot. Maybe her.
Maybe her if she gets some fucking sleep.
Valerie like stops and turns, and she was so keyed in and like focused on the door that she didn't catch it, but she heard the rise in volume, and then turned to look, and she sees you and Veloska just eyeing her. Just sighs and turns and crosses her arms and starts staring at the door harder.
Legacy just, like, when she looks at her, smiles and does the, like, 4-finger wiggle wave in her direction. And we'll look back at Veluska. You may not be right up in the face of murderous cyborgs, but can't tell me that a few of our members wouldn't be dead right now if you weren't around.
He kind of staring at his drink. He nods absentmindedly. True. It's true. He takes a sip. You will do the... and he waves his hand. And just... You can see him searching for a word. Dangerous. Stunts. What is, devil?
Daredevil?
He points at you and then nods. Daredevil stunts.
You mean that we're crazy, and we are.
Mm-hmm. He nods, very much agreeing with you. Like, yeah, y'all crazy.
But if we all make it through this, we do owe you big time.
He thinks about it. He nods. If we make it through this, we might make it through this. You and your friends, roommates, strange group.
Your friends, too, if you'll have them.
Too old.
She starts. You make that noise, but you're also one of the only people I've seen Lockhart willingly go to and talk to, so I think it's too late on her account at the very least.
She's too old too. She acts old. He just, like, without looking back at her, he flicks his head back as if, like, pointing to Valerie.
And Legacy smirks. I don't know that you have much of a choice, big guy.
He again kind of stares off. Oh, I have choice. I could walk out. He thinks about it. No. Too far in now. Won't leave. I'm not going to leave.
And whether you want to admit it or not, you are a good guy at the heart. You want to be involved.
He scrunches his nose, but it's not like an earnest scrunch. He just scrunches his nose as if to be like, I guess I'm okay.
And she just kind of pats his arm again. I wouldn't have given you the card for my mom's clinic if I didn't think that you were decent. Still, though, you ever actually go there and talk to her about a job, and you tell her any of this, I will find a way to kill you. There's a kind of playful smile the entire time she is saying that.
Huh. He nods. Call her. Soon.
Oh,
After. And he waves a hand. All this is done.
well, if we found
I
a way
need
to
a
pawn
job.
off... Sorry.
He'll call her after all this is done. He'll need a job.
Legacy just shakes her head. Well, if we find a way to pawn off those rocks, then you can start your own clinic. The least we could do. Though I don't think you really want to do paperwork.
No.
And she will stand up and just kind of shake the fist that has the pills in it. Thank you for this. It's good to know that I am not imminently dying.
He nods. I'll keep eye on you. When I can.
Yeah, good luck with that. I think that a few of these others are going to get shot and be very distracting.
He scrunches his nose again and is like, gunshot wounds are messy. Yeah. Go rest. You need it.
She nods and will start heading down the hallway. And I imagine she will pause and end up backtracking to point out something to the Cosmic and then back to her room. Just like appear over the shoulder, like, you need to do this one and then leave.
As you're walking away, Cosmic just goes, oh. And then immediately starts going into it again. And Veluska sits there, just kind of thinking about the exchange, and he seems content. Like he too, in his own right, is a man of action. He is a doer. He likes to be doing things, and the anxiety of waiting kind of eats at him. But that helped to kind of bring him down a level, bring the anxiety down a level.
Look, Kaya, your turn.
Archaea.
Can we just talk about how much I love Veluska?
Mm-hmm.
Just big appreciation for it. For this guy.
Man.
Grumpy old man. The grandpa everyone needs.
He will help you, and he will tell you that you're dumb for needing help, but he will help you nonetheless.
Depend on him. It's great. I also love the you care about us, don't you, Squidward?
See, Legacy has finally gotten over the slight fear of Veluska from the start of everything. It's like now yeah, he's big and scary looking, but I'd like to see him do anything.
That's his whole brand, which he's like, if people think he's like a big, scary, aggressive dude, people don't fuck with him. And people aren't around him long enough to usually figure that part out.
I 100% think that if you piss him off enough and he doesn't know you, he will shoot you with a shotgun. However, he knows us and kind of likes us, so he will not do anything to us. Aside from be like, no, you don't get the pain meds for this, you just got to deal with it.
We're like the fucking grandkids he didn't want to adopt.
Oh, we're the feral street cats that he has taken in.
He's fed too many times. Wonderful, wonderful.
Veluska is good uncle.
Love our grumpy old man.
I will lean into the fact that Legacy is his least problematic patient.
She usually doesn't get hit. But now there's stressors for other reasons, because I mean, you can heal a fucking bullet wound. It's right there. You know what's wrong. It's the fucking bullet wound, right?
That's the Veluska's just like, oh, you're usually never wounded. What's wrong? Oh, some shit's wrong with your brain? Maybe? Fuck, dude.
She went from being low stress patient to highest stress patient, I think.
But
I don't know what's wrong with you.
Honest and forward with everything. She's not trying to hide anything.
That's the worst part. It's like there's not anything that Veluska can latch onto. He's like, I don't fucking know. It sounds like I wish I could say that you got concussed. I could spot it if it was a concussion, but no, this is some weird shit. You don't have anything in your brain, so it's not a cybernetic. I don't know what the fuck happened. It's weird. Here's some blood coagulants. Take them if you start to bleed out of your face again.
Other than that, just stop bleeding.
Don't bleed out of your nose. Stop that. No.
I just love the woke up smelling blood. He's like, right fucking now? What the fuck? Why didn't you say that before?
She has a point though. She woke up bleeding, like that she made like one distress noise. There'd suddenly be two people falling over themselves, leaving the room of like, help, 911.
Veluska. Legacy's literally bleeding out of her face.
Wonderful. It's a solid point.
That was a really cute interaction.
Ah, man. All right. I gotta take off my I Heart Veluska shirt.
You can leave the shirt on.
Okay, you know what? You're right. I could leave the shirt on. I'll just like have a little white erase board thing to it. It'll just be whatever NPC is interacting with us.
You just have to adjust your Loco hat.
Yeah.
I heart.
All right. So we have time to get a full night's rest, and Kaya, expertly, if I may add, was like, you know what, Locker, no, let's just move the couch back to my room. You know, you don't gotta sleep out here with the others, you know, it'll be distracting for you. Bliss, like, here's a trap. Because we are going to talk.
And Lockhart unknowingly walks into it.
Walks right fucking into it.
Like, oh, okay, sure. I mean, I guess, yeah.
Guess what? Hello?
Every time we try to give the spotlight to Iris, something happens.
No.
Can you not hear me?
There we go.
Now
Can
we
you
hear
not
you.
hear me?
You just
You
got
cut out.
lost in the void there for a minute.
Yeah.
What? What the fuck?
Hi, we hear you now. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Do I sound clear? Testing
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Yes. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
I literally was talking and describing stuff.
Yeah,
and
and
I
then it cut
heard,
out.
yeah, I heard you guys say that though. That's the thing. And then
Yeah.
after Z said, every time we give the spotlight, my internet DC'd and reconnected.
Mm-hmm. But you're back?
Shit is cursed. Your shit is cursed.
I was fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But, yes, that's Trap set. Lockhart walked into Trap.
Yep, she did. She moved
Ignorance
the
is
couch and
bliss.
like she moved the couch back, being like, oh, probably doesn't want to move it later and
Mm-hmm.
do it while I'm here. Sure, got it. And I don't
Yeah.
mind sleeping here because I've probably done it before. So
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, bedtime routine. Check on drones, make sure they're all tucked in, make sure none of them untangle any of the tablet cords to keep it charged. Probably take a fucking shower to wash off all of the fucking blood and grease and oil, probably from Red. Probably a mix of both from Red, honestly. Her blood and everyone else's off of her. And I like to imagine that Kaya has the industrial size bottle of like the core scrub that mechanics have to get grease and oil off of them.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, she has her fucking strawberry shampoo that she fucking cherishes. So it's bedtime, Kaya. She's got her shorts on, she's got her tank top. Hair is loose. She's clean. There is no oil or grease in sight, and it's very rare to see that. This is the only time of day where she does not have oil and grease on her. So she would probably shower second if Lockhart does change and get ready, because I mean, guest, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My internet's being wonky, but yeah,
What the fuck?
Lockhart definitely would have showered. I mean, there is also the shower over here in Lindis's room. Just saying, but don't want to wake her. But either way, she showered, changed into some sleep shorts and like a tank top kind of thing. While Kaya was showering, Lockhart would have made tea for both of them. Some sleepy time tea.
Nice. Mismatched mugs.
Yep.
So, after showering and getting ready, Kaya would approach Lockhart. Wherever he's probably sitting on the couch, right? Yep. Probably a bit nervous. It's just like awkward energy, just slightly increasing as she just like approaches and is like, okay, I don't know really how to go about this. Probably just wait and just try and get her attention a bit, hovering next to the couch.
Lockhart's probably reading, I think. Probably has like a little Kindle or something. That like I don't know. I think she's reading like poetry, like just a mismatch of poetry stuff kind of thing. But she notices Kaya's there, and she doesn't, even though she knows and acknowledges or she knows to herself that Kaya's there, she doesn't really say anything for a bit, and she'll keep reading, waiting for Kaya to say something. But she will, after reading a few more lines and the awkwardness kind of growing, she'll ask, "Do you want to ask me something?" And she's not looking up from what she's reading when she says that.
At the acknowledgement, that kind of just like breaks Kaya out of her like fucking little awkwardness spell, and she'll just plop down on the couch next to Lockhart, just nodding, probably grabbing the mug of tea and just holding on to that. Uh, yeah. So, do you mind if I ask? Yeah, yeah. I do want to ask you a couple questions, if you don't mind.
So take a sip of, or she'll close or like put the Kindle, like click it so it turns off. Take a sip of her drink, and she'll nod. Go on.
Kaya just drums her fingers on the mug. So, it's about Valerie. Are you sure you want her around? Like, are you actually comfortable with it?
Lockhart straightens up a bit and gets a little stiff. She is a highly skilled mech that costs much more than. Having her for this confrontation seemed like the smartest move.
Kaya just takes a sip of her tea. Her knee's starting to bounce a bit. Well, yeah, she's strong and big help and all that, but I'm more concerned about how you feel about having her around again. You know, after what she did to you, or more like didn't do. Look, I'm just worried about you because I care about you, you know?
It's fine. I'm alright. Having her around won't be a problem. We won't have it that long anyways.
Like Kaya's knee stops bouncing. Turn to look at Lockhart. Grim, you know I can tell when you're bullshitting, right? Like, you don't have to lie to me. You know that?
I'm not. She kind of cuts herself off a bit. It's like, I don't need to get this defensive. Oops. She doesn't react to Kaya using her nickname though. I'm not lying to you. Not how you think, at least. Having her around is fine. I would like to try and reconnect with her if possible. For all the bad that's happened, she still raised me. And as angry as I am, I do respect her and miss her a bit. I want to know if she even deserves it after all this time. But while she's under their thumb, I don't think that's possible.
Kaya probably scoot closer so she's right next to Lockhart, probably turning and shifting to face her directly. Reaching out a hand on Lockhart's shoulder, making sure to look her in the eye, just like, okay, I need you to level with me. Okay, so just to double check and make sure here, you do know you can still respect someone and not have them in your life if you aren't completely up for it, right? I just want to ask if, I guess, do you want her to continue to be around you and be a part of your life after this, after the mission? Or is it just for however long we've, got her? Is this what you really want, Grim?
So pause and think for a moment. So now, yes. In the future, I can't say. I don't know if the woman from my memories is the same. Kind of lets that hang for a bit, and before straightening up a bit more and turning to face Gaia more, directly. Which I wanted to ask you after all this Tetsuo business was in the past, but I guess now's a good time as any. I believe that the Canes have something on Valerie. I don't really know for sure what it is, but I want to help her. And I don't know if I alone am suitable for the job.
Kaizen stayed on Lockhart's shoulder as she's like letting out a breath of like, okay, just wanted to make sure. Cool. And she just nods her head as she takes another breath. Okay. Okay, cool. I just wanna double check and ask for helping her out. I'll do it. I don't really like her all that much. I can't really get over what she did to you, but I mean, if that's what you want, I'll do it. I'm doing everything I can to help her out. And after we settle all the Tetsuo bullshit, I mean, we can ask the rest of them if they're in for another round. Like, I'm sure Legs would love to get a hands on your family. Probably just for fun, honestly. And there's a little squeeze on Lockhart's shoulder as Kaya tries to give her, a small, reassuring smile. But it is a tired one. It's been a fucking long-ass day. Of yeah, no, we got this. Yeah, we'll get Legacy on it. I'm sure that's gonna be, a cakewalk for her after all this shit.
You said you put your hand on her shoulder?
Yeah.
There's another tiny little manipulator that is placed over your hand.
I was tapped out. I didn't see Larry getting closer and closer. Oh, God, I love him. Probably a pat on Larry's head.
He doesn't say anything. He just puts his hand on there too.
Lockhart nods, and some of her tension kind of releases the tension that was in her shoulders. She nods to Larry, and she nods to Kaya. I appreciate it. And
yeah, of course.
What about you and Lindis? Are you really okay with us staying here?
At that, Kaya kind of stiffens a bit, and hand, just falls off of Lockhart's shoulder, landing on the couch next to them. Yeah, probably. It's kind of hard to answer. Is that the same friend that we lost? Well, no, but it's a version of her. Is she necessarily completely 100% evil and gonna kill us? Don't know. No fucking clue, but I mean, we seemed to get through to her when we were all talking to her. But I mean, only time will tell how much that really worked to get past all the rewiring bullshit that Tetsuo did to her. It's fucking complicated, We can't leave her with him, and there's nowhere else we can safely take her since this is the only place she already knew about. I'm sure we'll manage just fine, It'll just take time. Eventually. Probably.
Okay, but having nowhere else to take her for the time being and living with her are two completely different things. She doesn't really She was facing Kaya, but then she turns back to sit more straight on the couch again, and kind of clicks the button on her Kindle, and she stares at the screen for a moment, and kind of quickly adds, a bit more softly, "Look, if you and Legacy need to find a new place, just let me know. I can ask around and see if there are any cheap vacancies that aren't too terrible. I have a few contacts."
Larry floats in. Moving?
Imagine Kai lifts up a hand to grab onto Larry, just, resting on him. Her other hand kind of runs through her hair, kind of scrunching up a bit. She's not used to having it loose all that often. But she takes another sip of her drink. "Thanks, Grim. I'll keep that in mind, and I'll let Legs know too. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna leave, at least not right now. I wanna be there for her, try and help her, still care about her, even if she's not exactly smiling. So I'm gonna try and do what I can to help her out. It's the least I can do."
Understood. Lockhart kind of nods and continues reading.
Kaya looks down at the mug in her hands, takes a little sippy, gives Larry one last little pat, and then the fingers start drumming against the side of the mug again. Her cybernetic can doing a little clinking against the mug. There's just a moment of that, and then her knee starts bouncing again. She's starting to get antsy again. And she just looks up at Lockhart every couple of seconds before looking back at her mug. The frequency of her leg bouncing kind of increasing as she kind of clears her throat. So, could I, ask you another question?
I believe you just did.
In an instant, the awkward nervousness is gone and replaced with annoyance. As Kai is just like, "Not this shit again." It's like, "Fucking fine, could I ask you 2 questions then?" And turning to look at Lockhart, slightly fed up with this semantic asshole.
Lockhart, the corner of her mouth kind of twitches upward. She thinks it's a bit funny, and she's happy, or you can tell that she's happy that she kind of got under Kaya's skin a little bit. "You've already got me, so ask away."
There's just a small sigh, because Kaya does not miss that little twitch of yeah, this bitch is fucking with me. Fucking again with her fucking technicalities and fucking bullshit. It's like, okay, you know what? No, we're gonna move past that. Okay, thanks for the reminder. Takes a deep breath in of okay, cool, we're not getting into that shit. But then, as the annoyance kind of ebbs away, the awkwardness starts to settle back in and kind of fill that space. So, could we actually talk about what happened back in Tetsuo?
I thought we just had.
No, not really. Well, at least no, I'm talking about the
When I died? Larry points to himself.
Kaya's head snaps to him. Just like hand on top of him. Of like kind of gesture of like, let me hold you closer real quick. It's like, no, not, I mean, yeah, kind of, buddy. About what happened right before we fought Red. Imagine she has Larry in her lap now, one hand holding the mug.
I think Lockhart would pat Larry as well. Because Larry is friend. Is friend-shaped, at least.
Yeah,
Not
he's
friend.
friend-shaped.
Lockhart has no friends. What are you talking about?
Bro, literally all of her friends are in this apartment.
But yeah, she kind of pats Larry and in a kind of trying to be slightly reassuring kind of thing. But she'll turn her attention back to Kaya and look at her. Like I told you previously, there was a lot going on in the moment, and I was trying to focus on protecting everyone. I admit it. What I said was awful, and I'm sorry for that.
Kaya is probably fully facing Lockhart on the couch at this point. Larry, in her lap, one arm around him, other arm holding mug. She just nods a little. It's okay. I know it's okay. I wanted to talk about it with you. Like, we didn't get a chance to. I mean, you kind of just talked at me in the elevator, which by the way, well, you'll put a pin in that. So I just want to double check. You measured twice, cut once. Are you sure you didn't actually mean any of that? Like, positive?
I swear, what I said before that fight, it was just out of frustration and urgency. She looks away from Kaya, and she's kind of scanning the room for something.
What's she looking for?
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
I would. Is why I asked.
What is around Kaya's room aside from what you see in like the immediate in front of you, like the space immediately to the west, like where it would be directly in front of Lockhart, which is like the little like play drone area where Robin is currently watching over, what is it, Leo, George, and Teddy Theodore, while
Teddy.
Casey sits to the side quietly.
Yeah, there's probably a bunch of different projects, a lot of tools that are being stored, a lot of little projects, a lot of finished projects that are like hung up and installed around the room.
Does Kaya? I fully imagine that Kaya has one of those giant red toolboxes.
Yes, she does.
Instead of a dresser, she has that.
Yeah, that's exactly what she has. Along with other things that she's just built, like she probably still has something she built as a kid that she turned into like a sort of nightlight / like lamp that she's got. It's like a little flying squirrel lamp.
Oh.
But it's just random shit like that around her room. And then like little kitchenette, bathroom, the doorway.
Why do I imagine that the kitchenette has been turned into an actual like working area rather than a kitchen?
There's probably the only thing left in there is probably like a coffee pot.
Oh, I was gonna say coffee maker.
Yeah, a coffee maker. And yeah, it's just more storage. That's probably
soldering
where
iron that has stickers of Kaya Legacy.
That's what I was about to say. Actually, that's probably where Legacy steals the fucking soldering iron, because it's right by the door. It's like the fucking rabbit season, duck season. But with stickers about ownership. So where's Lockhart looking?
She looks this way. Oh, nope. I didn't mean to click Larry. This way.
Mm-hmm.
This way. She kind of lightly scans the room while not looking at Kaya.
See. Okay.
And she also looks this way.
Which way?
This way.
Okay. Just around, I guess.
Just a vague, like, scanning.
Everywhere except Kaya. And Larry, by proxy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So, probably in Lockhart's peripherals then, she'd see Kaya just slowly nod. And bring up the mug of tea to take another sip. Okay. I just had to make sure. You know, I like making sure I understand things. And about that, there's something else I wanted to ask you about. I think I already mentioned it, but could you so could you elaborate on what you meant in the elevator?
Lockhart moves to the she stands up and she grabs her mug. Did Kaya set her mug down or no?
I think she still got it. She only took a sip of it. She probably just has it in her hand. If she doesn't, you know what? Probably has it on top of Larry.
So yeah, Lockhart went and probably picked up her mug.
Mhm.
And as she's standing up, she moves this way and this way and here and here, kind of moving around the couch a bit.
Uh-huh.
She'll say, I meant what I said. What more is there to explain? Trying to casually get out of the way.
Okay. Okay. Kaya knows this bitch. She's getting up, avoiding eye contact, first little like radar blip. Getting up, walking around. Kaya's thinking, is she trying to run? We're fucking talking. Kaya probably does leave her mug on top of Larry, of like, here, buddy, hold this. She'll just get up and just walk around the couch, just cutting her off. It's like, nope. It's like holding up one hand in front of Lockhart. It's like, wait, no, Grim, could you just hold on for a sec? Like, I just want to know what exactly that meant. Like, what exactly does not needing me around, but wanting me around mean? She lifts up and puts air quotes.
Lockhart wasn't expecting Kaya to get up. She was kind of hoping to make a clean break here.
Escape.
But so she stops and she's like, it means I don't mind your company. She says, kind of a little frustrated. Do you mind holding up her cup in like a gesture of like, hey, look, I want to go, kind of thing.
Kaya just looks at the cup, looks back at her. It's like, slight, like, I don't know, I guess, like, disappointment of, like, "Oh, is that it?" She just looks at her like, "So it just means you don't mind having me around? Is that it? I thought that..." Kinda
That's
trailing
not.
off.
That's not. Fine. I enjoy your company. I enjoy your lessons, and I enjoy getting coffee after. And before you say it, it's not just to pass the time. Now, if you'll excuse me, Lockhart will hop the couch.
What?
Oops, sorry, didn't mean to grab Larry.
Just
To go around.
going around. Just, I mean, Kaya's still in the way.
Okay, imagine the freaking icons are a little smaller.
Yeah,
Point
a little
is, she's trying to
smaller.
get around. She's trying to get around Kaya.
Yeah, Kaya's probably closer over here. Hops the couch, goes around, slithers
Yep.
past Kaya. Probably just like a second of hesitation. By the time she, like, Lockhart fucking hops the couch, fucking walks around it. That's when, like, Kaya's brain catches up to her, and she's just gonna reach out and just fucking, like, no, we're not fucking done here. She's just gonna grab Lockhart's wrist, the one without the mug in it. Just fucking stop her. Just wait, just fucking wait, Grim. Just, can I ask how? Like, how? Because it's always me reaching out to hang out with you. I'm always the one planning everything, and I mean, I'm always the first one to call or to message you. Like, how can you enjoy my company when I'm always the one to initiate every single hangout and every single lesson?
Lockhart stops and just kind of closes her eyes while listening. It's not. I haven't socialized like this before. I'm not used to it, but I promise I do enjoy our time together. Now, please, just. She kind of tries to pull away a bit, but not like hurting Kaya. But she is trying harder to get to the door. Like,
Probably does pull her a couple feet, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's fucking hanging on. Because, damn it, no, I'm getting fucking answers out of you. Kaya's grip just tightens. And she starts pulling back now. Of like, no, I'm not gonna let you fucking escape right now. I
Barry
think
flies
Lockhart's...
in.
Yeah. You gonna help,
Also
buddy?
grabs on.
Let's go! Does he grab onto Lockhart to Kaya to help her pull?
Both.
Both of them pulling a third direction.
He kind of
Yes.
is pulling just a third direction because he doesn't know why there's pulling happening. He just wants to help.
Yes.
Aw.
Pulling them here. This way. Ah. That's great. That's fucking phenomenal. But no, guys, just digging her heels. Just like, no, you're not fucking escaping now. She's just gonna continue her questions. It was just like, why? Just, why do you enjoy spending time with me? Like, okay, look, Grim, what if what you said before, what if it came from just small bit of truth, just deep down? You know, because why would someone as, capable and put together as you enjoy spending time with, I mean, let's be honest here, kind of a fuck up like me? Like, Krim, I'm a mess compared to the rest of you. I'm just trying to keep up and at least be a little helpful when I can be. So, can you just tell me why you spend more time with me and not some of the others, people who are more put together? Why not Legs or Kaz or more time Marcus or Loska? Gaddy, Max, can you just answer me that?
Lockhart is getting more and more frustrated. And not in the typical angry Lockhart way. But the pressure is just building and building with all this, and it has to release at some point. Because, Kaya, as much as I try to keep you at arm's length, I still have feelings for you. That's why.
Well, that does stop Kaya's pulling. She kind of freezes at that, and her eyes are wide. I feel like she looks at Lockhart, looks at Larry, looks back at Lockhart, and there's just a quiet, just what? Because just shock. Not what she was expecting to hear. What the fuck?
Lockhart kind of pauses and realizes a bit of her outburst and just kind of wonders, where did her patience go? What the fuck happened?
How loud was that outburst?
She's...
Quick question here.
Scale of 1 to 10, her normal is like
1.
A 3.
Yeah.
Her normal's like a 3. I'd say that was like a 5, 6.
Okay. Huh.
But she deflates a little bit, and her shoulders sink, and just like, what? Is it really that surprising that I'd fall for you like that? You're kind and compassionate, and there's no one on this station as loyal as you. You can care for me when I know I don't deserve it. You're smart. You don't flaunt it. You're the best cook I know. And more importantly, you're you. You're, whether it's good or bad, you're just sincere in everything you do. And that hasn't changed since the day I met you. So, yeah.
I imagine that Kaya still has a grip on Lockhart's wrist, but I feel like she's just forgotten that's there, because she is just in total shock here. And the more that Lockhart speaks, the more pink her face becomes. And eventually, by the time Lockhart's done, Kaya, with her freckles, kind of looks like a strawberry at this point. Because she's probably all her life never really thought that would ever happen. She's kind of always believed that, I don't know, that's just something that never really happens. No one's ever really shown an interest in her because she is incredibly oblivious, and you would need to be incredibly clear and blunt and direct to get her to fucking pick up on shit like that. And, well, that was pretty clear. That was pretty blunt. That was pretty direct. And so she kind of just opens her mouth, closes her mouth again, opens it. No sound comes out for a second. But eventually she finds her voice. Her eyes kind of glanced at Larry of like almost like, you heard that too, right? Right? I didn't just hallucinate, right?
Larry doesn't react, he looks up at you, and there's like a lot of confusion because he sees that the pulling has stopped. But something that registered to him that does not cash with the remainder of your reaction is like Larry looks at you and he just shakes his head a little bit. He's like, not a fuck up, tugging on your sleeve.
Aw.
He's right.
I was just like, okay, well, I found my voice, and that interaction again with the two of them just loses it again. She has to find it one more time. Wait. Oh, hold up. So, okay, Krem, you have feelings for me? Like, really? Just like, okay, hold on. Let's just just to clarify here. Are you talking about like you feel like I'm just a good person to work with, or just another friend like Getty is, or like a best friend? Wait, no, Getty's your best friend. Look, I just
Kaya, I have romantic feelings for you.
So the shock has settled back in, and Kaya is going to graduate from a strawberry to a tomato. As it's like, yeah, okay, there's no misunderstandings. There's nothing more clear than that. And her mouth just shuts, and her brain kind of has to reboot for a second. And she just reaches up a hand and just scratches the back of her neck. And her mind is just racing of like, okay, what the fuck do I do here? I should have watched more movies. I should have. I probably know what to do if I just did that. If I watched anything in my fucking life. Moneyball does not prepare you for this. Neither does mystery novel audiobooks. She's like, no, I got it. I figured this out. I've got it. She opens her mouth. Okay, so are we still good for getting coffee after the mission? Like, is that still a thing?
Lockhart throughout all this wasn't looking at Kaya, but she now turns to Kaya with a somewhat sarcastic, a lightly sarcastic smile on her face, like, the fuck? I'm bearing my soul to you, and that's how you respond.
I mean, that's what you do, right? That's like a thing. That's what you do. You ask someone on a date. Like that's a date, right? That's how you do it. I don't fucking know what I'm doing, Grim.
Does that mean you reciprocate then?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yes. I feel like at this point she realizes she still has Lockhart's wrist in a fucking near-death grip, and she just lets it go, just drops it. She's like, oh shit, I forgot about that.
Lockhart, before Kaya's hand could fully fall, I think she'll grab her hand, Kaya's hand, and hold it up.
Are you trying to kill her?
And no. And she'll, feeling a bit more reassured by Kaya, she'll say, I guess we have a date then. And she'll kiss her knuckles.
You are trying to kill her!
Larry puts both of his little manipulators over his not mouth.
Kaya just looks at Lockhart and just I guess nods her head. Just and then cue word vomit of just kind of low key panicked. She's still a tomato. I feel like the blush was starting to like lessen back to strawberry zone, but that shit just brought it to full tomato. And she just nods her head like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, it's a date. We'll just put it on the calendar. I mean, it's probably gonna be like after the mission, so we probably don't have to put it on the calendar. I mean, unless you want to. But I mean, you'll probably remember. I mean, I'll probably put it on mine, but yeah. Just cutting herself off, just shutting her mouth up. Like, I need to stop talking. I need to stop fucking talking now.
Lockhart, I think, is feeling really good. She's kind of happy. So she'll give an actual smile and just kind of laugh, just like I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Is this super ultra rare, holographic, shiny Lockhart laugh?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Kaya's just gonna nod her head some more. Cool. Just yeah, okay. Cool. Just one last thing. Just to so you do just one little last so you do realize that not gonna just leave you behind like that. Like, I don't know if you okay, look, it doesn't matter what you say to me or what would fighting against. I'm not gonna just abandon you. So, like, you've got to know that by now, right? So, no repeat of what happened.
I can agree to that. I honestly I couldn't expect more. Couldn't expect less.
Okay. No more questions. She just looks. Lockhart looks at Larry. Probably looks back towards the drones and the coffee table.
They're not paying attention at all. They're in their own little world. Well, Robin is paying attention.
Oh no. Okay. She's looked to Larry. And what did he do with her mug of tea?
I imagine he probably set it down on the counter so that he could pantomime with his little manipulators more.
Mm-hmm. Just looks at him, just looks around.
I was gonna say, Lockhart will kind of see Kaya looking around whenever and be like, "Do you want some more tea?"
Kaya just like looks up of like, oh shit, how'd she know? She's back into strawberry territory. She's calmed down a bit. And she just nods. It's like, yeah, I didn't finish the one you already made, but I mean, probably another one if you don't mind. It kind of helps me get.
Get what? Hello?
I'm still here.
It's not me this time?
I don't think so.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, we hear you.
Hi, what's the last thing you heard? I DC'd.
I don't know. I can't remember.
You said it helps me, and I didn't hear anything after that.
Just yeah, it helps me actually get some sleep. So it's
That's
not
why I make it.
Oh. Then yeah, that'd be cool. Here, let me go get the cup for you. She'll just fucking pick up the cup. She'll fucking go get the cup. Probably just down the rest of it. 'Cause a lot fucking happened. She wasn't expecting that shit. She'll just come back to the locker with the cup, empty this time. Just hand it over.
Lockhart will take it and lift the 2 cups as if to say, I'm going to go now.
It's a little wave from Kaya. Flush is almost gone, but there's still remnants of it, as she's still reeling of like, what the fuck just happened?
Out the door.
You step out the door, Lockhart, and you can see that the Nerd Squad has all huddled at the corner here. And when you step out the door, they all immediately like resume positions of vague, nondescript, like casual behavior. Whistling, leaning against the wall, twiddling their thumbs, playing on their phone.
Lockhart's in too good of a mood to deal with that right now. She's going to head to the kitchen.
You can hear shuffling. You can Kaya, you can also hear this, but you hear shuffling as you hear a voice that is very clearly Maxine going. She's like, go, no, back to the computer.
I feel like she'd peek her head out of like seeing them scramble away, I guess.
You would catch them when they're like right about here, and they're all, and Maxine is mushing the 2 boys back to the seat as they like scooch all the way across the room. And then Maxine looks over her shoulder and gives you the little twiddly finger wave of total innocence.
I feel like just she's still in shock, kind of just little hand raise, little 2-finger salute. And she just closes the door and then just collapse on couch. What the fuck?
You collapse on the couch, and you hear from hold on, I need to fucking check the drone names again because I always forget the drone names. Casey, who is not in the little play area. Casey is sat on the table away. You hear, love is a many splendored thing. Isn't it?
I feel like she looks at him and she just, I guess she nods. There's a shrug in there too. I guess I'm gonna find out. She's gonna grab Larry again. Onto lap. Hug. It's like, yes, grounded to reality. A witness for what just happened. I'm not crazy. That happened, right? There's Larry also more witnesses, too, outside, apparently. But I'll get to that later.
Larry just pats your arm with his little manipulator claws. Robin does not have thumbs on her little robot form. Mm-hmm. She has simple manipulators, but she holds out her hands like she's doing a thumbs up. It's in the Larry way. Mm-hmm. You recognize the gesture.
Yeah.
But from the inside of the little like fake house setup, you can see her doing that little thumbs up gesture.
Yeah. Nod of like thanks. I'm still reeling from that, but thanks. And I guess that's it. She's just gonna drink the tea when Locker comes back and make sure the drones are okay and go to fuck to sleep. Cause they got shit to do. And also this tea is going to knock her ass out, especially with a double serving.
Good sleepy time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, well. I think that's it for that scene. Iris?
Yep.
Trying to fucking
Sounds good
murder
to me.
Kaya.
You did it. You set a ship sail.
Yay.
Holy shit. Apparently all it takes is forcing Lockhart to talk about her feelings.
And multiple
Holy
life or
shit.
death scenarios.
Multiple life
Yep.
or death scenarios. But yeah, I mean, that's it.
You did it.
You did
Congratulations.
it. Yep. Okay, I am going to be right back and use the bathroom.
Fair,
So-
fair. We will
Here I
we will
be.
wait.
Thank you. Feel free to start whatever's up next. I don't know what's on the docket.
Now the question is, who spills the beans to Legacy first? Because her reaction's going to be very dependent on that. How much of a little shit she decides to become.
I will give the player characters the opportunity to spill the beans before I make an NPC do it, out of respect.
Oh, there's no reason for Lockhart to.
It seems it will be from a mouth of an NPC. The question is whom. So how many people know about this? I will say that for that, Veloska was probably asleep, and Valerie was also not paying attention because she doesn't. Whatever. She's not going to pay attention to people raising their voices inside. Let me see. 1, 3, 4, 5.
Wait, 5? I thought there was only 3 people in the living room. Besides
Droids.
Valerie and Veloska. Oh, droids, right.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, I'm back.
The only droids that count are the ones that are mobile. I'm not counting Casey.
Understood.
Casey knows, but they can't move on their own.
Poor baby.
Yeah, don't worry. I feel like we're making something to
Kaya?
try and. Would Kaya what?
Would Kaya tell Legacy?
Probably not. Not for a case of she's hiding it, just for a thing of like she doesn't know that's something you kind of tell people, or I don't think she's the type to announce shit.
The offense
Well,
is great.
Yeah, she's not gonna announce it. So it probably will be one of the NPCs or one of the drones.
So it will be.
Mm-hmm.
So you have wished it, so it shall be.
Yeah, I mean, Larry does have a history of blurting out their private conversations, huh?
Mm-hmm.
True.
And we also have 3 of the nerd squad who overheard that shit. But yeah, okay, I'm here. I'm ready.
Okay, so you all have your very intense conversation and follow it up with some nice tea to continue resting rather, for the evening, while the nerd squad does their little impromptu searching. Well, also just, I imagine they're also playing games, like it's a mixture of like
Work and
having
play.
your own fun and work and play. Yeah, work and play. But they're doing that while the rest of the squad sleeps in their various locations, and you all rest. Yeah.
Just imagining they're playing Smash Bros. And loser has to take the next hour or the next turn of work kind of thing.
That's true. Yeah, it's a cycle. So whoever loser researches, and then they do a 2v2 or a 1v1.
Oh, that's so not fair. I feel like Cosmic lets them win so he can have a turn.
Yes, it is very obvious that he is letting them both win. He is not good at fake losing, which makes Ben Getty sour. But Maxine is like, I don't know what to like. Of course, he's going to win.
This is his job. This is Mr. Video Game.
Sorry about that.
It's fine. But after a few hours of rest, of well-deserved rest and well-earned rest, you all slowly start to come to your senses and awaken. If no one has a preference on who awakes first, I will say that Legacy would probably wake up first by virtue of having woken up earlier and gone back to sleep first.
Mm-hmm. And she has the fewest physical wounds to
also that mm-hmm. Also that the least amount of damage to recover.
Yeah, also can you refresh my memory on how resting works for when it comes to wounds and strain?
Strain is completely gone.
Okay.
Wounds, it's a little bit more up to what Joe decides.
I was going to say you can recover 4 wounds because you guys are resting for 8 hours. And some of the drugs that Veluska gave you are going to recover, like give you a lot of rest. And as you wake up, you can see that Veluska fell asleep on the couch. Valerie has fallen asleep, leaned against the wall in a very, of course, edgelordy, watch the door kind of watchdog pose, leaned against the wall with one foot kicked out. The Nerd Squad, they're still rotating around. Oh God, crisscrossy fingers that power no go outer. But as you walk out, the first person to notice you would be Maxine, because Maxine is currently not involved in whatever game is going on and has had a break in the research. Now, remind me what you wanted them to be researching.
Good question.
Fuck, I'm trying to look back in the notes. This might have just been a conversation. I don't know if I wrote it down. Police footage. Security. All the boys.
This would be towards the end.
This church. Debrief. Get coordinates. As long as you're back on board. I was gonna rest. Major damage to them. Riots. Death toll.
I know they're supposed to be looking towards the alpha power sector or whatever.
Yeah, probably that. Because I don't think I wrote it down. I just wrote that they were going to continue their research and work. Fuck, my notes have failed us.
I think that they were supposed to just be looking at the coordinates. What's at these different coordinates? Because we have one on the planet that we don't know that much about.
And any anomalies, I assume.
Yeah, and anomalies, and seeing if they can pick up on any power fluctuations and shifts.
Gotcha. So, Maxine would give you the down low. The coordinates on Earth are they go to a specific city off the coast of California. That is where Tetsuo has their on-Earth headquarters. And I'm blatantly ripping this. It is in Night City. But in Night City, there is a headquarters for Tetsuo that the coordinates lock onto a part of that tower. Gotcha. Or of that headquarters. In general, they've been keeping abreast of the news situation to keep track of anything. There's been no power fluctuations on the station. There's been no news coverage or anything about any danger that is obvious, though there are news like effect what they were able to do with a little bit of evil genius work from Ben Getty is that they were able to work on getting a radio broadcast for police scanning. I will say that they can have access to a police scanner. Like some police scanner radio traffic. That's what it is. So they're listening to the radio traffic and they could glean that there have been police reports, mostly in Voyager Ward, as a result of Gigadeath. Police and Foundation Foundation Ward security, like the government security has been interacting with the police force. It's been kind of not a stalemate. I'm not sure what to call it. But it is like it's like a mutual like armistice / hands-off policy where Foundation came in, the police were there, and the general consensus was like, okay, everyone needs to calm down before anything crazy happens, because the police are specific to each ward. The Foundation government security is inter-ward, sort of like states, and
state patrol versus city.
Yeah, and so the Foundation security and the station security versus the police is their jurisdictions differ, and there's also like a lot of tension just in general between them because of this. Also, there's been reports of the PMCs, the fire ants from Tetsuo, who have been supposedly have been seen shooting, and some of them have been apprehended. Many of them have been shipping off and seen going to Turing Ward, as well as getting on shuttles and heading towards I don't know what to call it, the odd opposite end of the station, towards Power Grid Alpha, but nobody knows that they're going there. It's what you all are assuming they're going like downward of the station.
And just to clarify, because I could not hear you over the thunder that is still rumbling. It's been rumbling for like 5 seconds with this one thunderclap.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, okay, now it's done. This one, you said the police are the ones that are getting shipped out to Turing and Power Grid Alpha?
Fire ants.
No, the PMC.
PMCs. Okay.
Yeah, the fire ants.
Fire ants.
Yes. So the Tetsuo specific mercs are getting shipped out. They're going to both Turing and towards Power Grid Alpha. Though the news stations and the patrol radio that the group is listening to, they don't know that they're going to Power Grid Alpha. I'm telling you above table because that's the obvious direction they're going.
Yeah, towards Turing and Power Grid Alpha.
Jesus.
I can hear that thunder.
Damn.
Yeah, it's still rumbling. Oh, there's the lightning. Yeah. So we'll see how long I survive. Mr. Amy came in and is like, hey, put your phone to charge.
Get candles and lighters.
Yeah.
Anyway, the fire ants are going into two different locations. They're going to Turing Ward and they're going to Power Grid Alpha. Police for Voyager have been pooled around in the city, and they are currently dealing with Foundation security, and most of Foundation's like armed forces are deployed in Voyager right now. And that is like very clear from the radio broadcasts. But there was one call that came over the radio that said suspicious activity towards a certain sector in Power Grid Alpha. There was a call to investigate it, and then it was flagged as nothing. That is the only thing you've gotten from the police. And it's worth noting that the police and Tetsuo, or most of the police stations on the different wards have a good relationship with Tetsuo because Tetsuo supplies them with armaments and security technology.
They've been bought out. Got it.
Because Tetsuo is Tetsuo. That's why.
This goes back to one of the early claims from Joseph Diego, which was him saying very blatantly that Tetsuo has more pull on the station than the station's own government in terms of raw security and quote unquote power in that regard. But there has been no other activity towards Power Grid Alpha. It seems to be like an absence of activity. Despite Giga Death being over, there's still a lot of police activity in Voyager Ward as they're like sweeping the street, they're cleaning up, they're recovering from everything, because there's tons of damage that was dealt. And now people are in the recovery period of like going through and making sure everything is okay, arresting people who are still like in the area and suspicious, processing people. But the government has become involved and embroiled in all of this. The Grand Cross government, and the general vibe of what happens when the government gets involved is like it is going to turn into a slog because they take long to do anything because the government is not super efficient. Because the station is very, very big and dense. And they also have to work through and process everything as fairly as they can, as well as like it is likely not going to pan out in favor of the most working class of the people involved. The closer you are to the ground, the more likely you are going to get the short end of the stick. And that could look like a fine. It could look like jail time. It could be some charges getting dropped or some charges getting pegged onto you. It really depends on who you are and what kind of legal representation you have, because the government does tend to favor the wealthy. But there hasn't been any big upheavals. Nothing dangerous or world-shattering has happened.
So I imagine, like Lisa gets that information, and she's probably made herself a coffee before she came into this area, to like the main room, and she'll just sit down and pick up a laptop of her own, and for the final bit of information that she's going to require, would make a point of kind of skimming through everything, just like settle against a wall and just like start skimming through everything, to see if there is any news about the leaks that she has set up and the like holes she has poked in things. And,
oh yeah. Okay.
The interaction between the companies after this.
So, in regards to all of the leaks and information and all of the holes you poked in Tetsuo's infrastructure, their home base, so to speak, Tetsuo stock has plummeted, like catastrophically. Tetsuo stock is bottoming out. There are rampant tweets and mega threads on every sort of social media site imaginable about leaked documentation from Tetsuo. The Tetsuo board, there's a board of directors and there is the CEO. The board of directors and all of their public facing voices on these media platforms has been very silent on the issue. There's been no word from them aside from like the stereotypical like we don't condone gigadeath, et cetera, thing that came out, which gives you the impression that the overwhelming like the overwhelming majority of all of the people who are a high up decision maker at Tetsuo are indisposed, because like there's not even someone drafting a statement. They're just radio silent on it. But there's so much chaos. There's so many effectively whistleblowers, people who are rooting around, bringing up documentation, showing that like documentation that you specifically sought out, showing some effectively like all sorts of illegal purchasing and under the table deals and all of this other stuff, involvement in the corporate wars, things that at least allege involvement in the corporate wars, and these like all of these things just surfacing all at once, all across the internet. The inertia that you have built up with all of this stuff has gotten too much behind it, that to not for nobody to act on it, it would be unfeasible for this to like quietly go away. There's too much. It just can't quietly go away. What is probably going to happen is a extremely long and arduous legal battle. Despite all of this stuff, it will still be an arduous legal battle because it will go through the proper channels, because the government will favor whatever corporate representation there is, and it will slog. But the sheer volume of stuff coming out, there's no way it would fall down. There's nothing to buffet the absolute tidal wave of stuff coming out. For every like backdoor you had left, some hackers and some people willing to brave the storm pulled at least 1 to 2 documents out, which just led to a insane amount of important, influential, secret information getting leaked in public ways. A lot of the hackers all of the hackers have left at this point, but the damage is like severe. How much of a business acumen does Legacy have? Does she keep up with like stocks and bonds? Does she keep abreast of things like that? Is like the business world, or not really?
She has a pretty good like surface level knowledge, I would imagine. Like
so,
she knows what the tracking numbers are vaguely.
Yeah. So you would, with a surface, with just a surface level like understanding of it, and just being able to glance around at everything happening, like you can't get the full scope of how bad it is. But as you're like perusing and trying to assess the damage here, you don't have to roll for it, but like you think that this is pretty unrecoverable. And as you're kind of coming to that conclusion, Marcus would just reaches over and taps Legacy on the shoulder, and then will lean over and show an email to Legacy from his employer. So from his boss, not employer, but from his boss. So Marcus got an email from his immediate supervisor. His supervisor says it is a multi-paragraph long formal email, like a work addressed it's basically like a to whom it may concern mass email from a position of authority at Tetsuo. The email basically comes out to say, like, to those of you who are still like faithfully working for Tetsuo, we appreciate and applaud your effort. Tetsuo is hard at work dealing with those responsible for the leaks. There's likely to be much legal trouble in the road ahead due to the severity of the security breach that has just happened. We cannot guarantee your position in place at Tetsuo for the foreseeable future due to what will inevitably be an arduous legal battle. But we thank you for your support and patience. We will keep you posted on the different goings on as we get more information and are able to make a decision going forward. Until then, do not speak of any work-related things. Do not share work-related information. Do not talk about work.
Reminder that she signed an NDA when you signed up.
Yes, and yeah, just like a very strong-handed reminder of like, don't say anything. Just keep your mouth shut. Keep your head down, and you might get to keep your job once all this is done. And it is like, again, like multiple paragraphs of this sort of language, just framing the problem as being like largely deal withable, but tense, and for the foreseeable future, don't engage with anyone. Don't, like, it'd be probably best to just disengage from social media entirely if you worked for Tetsuo. And it is such a damage control letter in its, like, throughout. It is just reeks of damage control. Largely unsuccessful. Like, it is trying to slap a Band-Aid on a broken bone.
Like, so she's like, I bet she's like skimming the email as Marcus is showing it to her, and there's just kind of a wince of like sympathy and a pat on his knee. Yeah. As soon as all of this is over, you're gonna have dinner with my mom, and we're gonna get you a new job.
Marcus nods, and he looks a little shell-shocked. And he turns his head to you and just goes, I've got one more that is worse. And he'll flip to another email. And there is an email from his employer to Marcus that basically reads out as like, it's been said to me that you were seen cavorting with people who are not on site or not registered as employees during the show of Gigadeath. We need to talk.
And Legacy is like frowns a little bit. And she does the mental tally. She killed pretty much every camera that would prove that he was with non-employees. So it's all
it's
eyewitness supposed.
Yeah.
And she is like, sees the mental tally, and then she's kind of head side to side. Well, they don't have any solid proof of that, so I guess we will burn that bridge when we get to it.
Your mom knows a good lawyer, right?
Legacy looks at him, and then there's a little smirk. She knows a lawyer, but well, if things really get down to it, you know a good hacker.
Yeah, I do. And I'm not going to freak out. It's going to be fine.
Does he actually look like he's not going to freak out?
He looks a little bit like he's going to freak out. He's keeping a lid on it, but he looks a little bit like he's going to freak out.
And she is leans forward a little bit, so she stays in his line of sight. Marcus?
Yeah.
You've seen what I do when people annoy me. Imagine what I'm going to do to a company I already don't like if they threaten to sue my boyfriend.
What if we get caught this time?
And Legacy looks at him and looks around the room and then gestures around the room. Imagine what all the people will do that we know if I get caught.
Marcus, he looks around and his eyes just kind of gloss over everyone. Marcus, or his eyes just kind of gently gloss over everyone, stopping in turn at everybody. Sprite does a little wave. And he just goes, "You're right. It's going to be fine. And I'm not going to freak out."
The worst they're going to do is say that you can't work at Tetsu or any of the big tech firms again, and I don't think you want to, right?
I don't. No, I don't. I also don't want them to, sue me for $1 million or something. I don't know legal stuff.
Do I need to remind you how much the rocks in the next room cost?
I don't want them to know that we paid for it with their own rocks.
Well, it serves them right.
You know, you're so confident about this, and it does make me feel a little bit better. But only a little bit.
She pats him on the knee. That's what happens when you date somebody that's kind of a criminal.
He exhales and assumes a very stereotypically meditative posture, like the little circles above the knee, and just breathes. And Maxine walks over, and she also has a coffee. Goes, "Is he freaking out?"
Yes. He's handling it, though. He's better.
He
is
fine.
much better. that's the
He's
spy again.
fine. I'm fine. I'm not freaking out. He's freaking out a little.
And Legacy just like lifts a hand and like pinches 2 fingers together. We knew he'd get here. I'm very proud of you, Marcus. I knew you'd get here. You threw a chair at a monster first date.
Ooh, you have to tell me about that. What kind of monster? And Marcus like opens his eyes and then gets like kind of leans on his elbows and knees and he just goes, wow. We've not been dating that long and we've done so much shit.
Yeah, well, I figure if you didn't run away when a dreamer attacked us, then, you're probably gonna stick around. You're gonna stick around, right?
Yeah. I'm too deep in it to I gotta stick around. Maxine bends down and gives him the rest of her coffee. There you go. Oh. And Maxine like she turns to go, but then remembers something. Just goes, I meant to tell you, I think your roommate is up. And she points to Lindis's room. I heard some shuffling around. I'm not sure what she's doing, but I think she might be too shy or too scared to come out.
And Legacy immediately just kind of like flinches away from the wall a little bit and looks over her shoulder as if Lindis is going to materialize through the wall. And she frowns. Yeah. You told Cosmic.
She puts a hand on her chin and just goes, I didn't. I wonder if he'll want to go talk to her. He probably will, won't he?
Legacy nods.
Marcus also nods. Do you think I should tell him or should I wait?
Probably the gentlest ones to talk to her if she's just up would be him or Kaya, and I don't hear Kaya.
Then Maxine goes, oh, that reminds me. Kaya's your other roommate, and she professed her love to your friend. Sprite, who's sitting on the couch, spits out her drink.
Like, she's like, whiplash, deer in headlights for a hot second, blinks. She is going through the mental Rolodex of like, profess love to friend. Okay. Kaya professed love. Okay, that's a friend. And she like looks towards Sprite as Sprite is like spitting out her drink. It's like, okay, so it's not that one, and it's not Maxine, and it can't be even. And she finally gets down to Lockhart, and then she's like, oh god.
Sprite points directly at you, Legacy, and just goes, I fucking told you.
And Legacy just like waves a hand. Are you sure, Maxine?
Maxine puts her hand on her chin and just goes, it was really sweet. I was kind of eavesdropping because it sounded kind of like a fight, and I was worried that there would be fighting when we were here, and I always feel awkward when people argue. But then I got up really close and then I listened. The boys also listened too, but they're not going to talk about it. The boys are just pointedly ignoring this conversation as Ben Getty stubbornly tries to win a game against Cosmic.
Well, that's an interesting little turn of events. Let me mean fucking Lockhart's gonna move in here for sure. Fun.
Marcus, like, Marcus is leaning, like he has an elbow on a knee and his hand is closed into a fist and he's leaning on his fist and he just goes, "Really? I would have never guessed." Huh. And Sprite just waves their hands and just goes, "Men."
And Legacy smirks, looks towards Sprite. Oh, I guess I owe you a drink for this one.
I think you owe me 2 drinks because I fucking called it. I called, and then out of the corner of Sprite's eye, there's like a little hint of Kaya in the door, and then Sprite just zips her lip. Just whoop, starts sipping her drink. Their drink, sorry.
If it's okay, I imagine Kaya by now is up, ready, dressed.
Mm-hmm.
Got her drone with her. And a cup of coffee. Because of course she has a coffee machine in her room.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, she's out. She's like, okay, cool. Oblivious to the current conversation.
Legacy,
so, set a yawn, drinks coffee.
Sees Sprite shut up, turns, sees Kaya come around the corner, stares at her for a minute, looks her up like head to toe.
Sup? Good morning.
So am I calling you Romeo or Juliet in this pairing?
Maxine, what are you talking about?
Maxine does not have a drink anymore because she gave her drink to Marcus, but she pantomimes having a drink and just goes ooh doo doo, and then just awkwardly boop doop 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 and goes back to the computer.
Confusion. Like was that a Shakespeare? What's that got to do with
how many
planning?
Fucking degrees and oh my god.
Well, she just blinks like, yeah, I read it when I was I don't fucking know, 5 or some shit. Gestures a hand of like, I have an engineering degree and a physics degree. I haven't paid attention to literature in fucking decades. Literal decades. Just drinks her fucking coffee.
Looks like, back to Sprite. Oh, if we're going with the idea of fucking men. Romeo jerks his thumb towards Kaya.
Confusion. It's like, okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna ask. I don't get it. Some part of movie thing I'm missing, right? It's not that.
Like Marcus from sitting beside Legacy is still like has this puzzled look on his face, like he's trying to figure something out. He's just like, it's so crazy. I just wouldn't have expected it. Not in a bad way. Just like, I just wouldn't have guessed.
No one is gonna give her fucking context for this, I'm guessing.
Like,
she's just.
If is she gonna ask again, or is she giving up?
I feel like she's gonna make a little smart ass comment of like, fucking, it'd be nice to be in a loop, but you know what? Whatever. We got shit to plan.
In the loop. And you see just like hands tossed into the air will twist and like very dramatically like drape herself against Marcus. It's like, Kaya and Lockhart sitting in a tree.
Marcus, like at that, he looks up at Kaya and just goes, "Oh shit! Hey, congratulations! I'm happy for you. I am. I'm sorry. I look like confused about it. I just wouldn't have guessed." Sprite will walk over and put an arm on your shoulder. Just be like, "Ignore them. They're just little trolls."
What the fuck does trees have to do with?
I'm a fucking troll. What the fuck are you?
You know what? I'm I'm just gonna go back to bed. I guess we're not gonna save the station. I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Lockhart, we said hello. Sprite wiggles their fingers.
Yeah, you know what, Krim, you come deal with this shit. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Fuck is Krim?
Larry just goes, Crimson.
Crimson? Wait. And Legacy will, go from being, half draped, across, Marcus's shoulder to, onto her knees. As if she is going to look around or in between Kaya's legs and find Lockhart on the other side of the door.
Yeah, where's
Your
Lockhart?
name is fucking Crimson?
Where's Lockhart? Where's Lockhart?
Fucking guy's calling out. I was like, fucking help.
Be back up.
I rolled for once Lockhart sleeping in.
She's not awake?
Nope.
Alright, well, guys,
that's what causes Lockhart to sleep in is emotional labor.
Yep.
That sucks all the energy out of her.
Fucking Kaya's just gonna come over and wake her ass up.
There's another person in the room that could help you with this.
Yeah?
She's asleep, though, I think.
Well, Legacy Legacy was not there to meet Valerie. She met Valerie at the front door of the apartment. She doesn't know what connection there is.
Mm-hmm. Because Kaya just hears out, your name is Crimson, and Kaya just fucking face palms. It's like a fucking oops. Ah, shit.
Forgot to update the roomie on the thing.
No, more like, right, they don't know that name. She told me not to call her that name around people, but also she said she was kind of okay with it, but also not. Fuck, you know what? Wake the fuck up. I need your help. Running over to the couch, asleep Lockhart. It's just fucking shake.
Sprite looks at you, Legacy, and just goes, if you make her cry, I will hit you.
I'd like to see you catch me.
Just fucking get the fuck up. Please. Krim, come on. I'm
awake. What?
You just hear very faintly
What's
from the
my
living
legacy?
room. Who the fuck edgy ass name is Crimson?
That wakes her up.
Squidward waking up like broken glass shattering noise.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hearing
you
that,
want to
sits
get up.
up.
Yeah, I'm gonna just let you get ready. See ya in a minute.
Larry starts like shushing you, Legacy. He's just like, no, we're not supposed to say that one.
Legacy. It's just like, I imagine he's like in front of her, started like making a shushing gesture, and she's like, grab the manipulator. Is holding the manipulator very carefully between like two fingers. And I was like looking at Marcus, like, did you fucking do this?
No, I didn't know this.
That part was bad.
This is all news to me.
There's no way you can just, forget that. I'm guessing.
Apparently I know nothing about you and fucking Crimson in there. I get told by Maxine that you guys are a thing, and then we find out that it's not Lockhart. It's a fucking completely different name.
Maxine, like from the corner of the room, just goes, "Who, me? I didn't do anything." Ha
I feel like Kaya's finally clued in on what they've been talking about this whole fucking time.
As Kaya's processing, is looking at Larry, he's like, "What the fuck is your name not Larry anymore?"
Larry just holds up his hands and he just goes, "I'm still Larry. I'm new Larry."
Mind explain to me what's going on? Lockhart says, she has her suit pants on, her shirt on. She's pulling on her jacket right now.
Right, without missing a beat, just goes, "Congratulations."
On what exactly?
Sprite just gestures to Kaya, and then to you, and then to Kaya, and then to you, and then gestures like one hand at each of you and brings the two hands together.
Kai is slowly starting to get a bit pink. She's like, oh, fuck. I forgot that other people heard that. I miss ignorance.
I'm going to roll something if this is okay with you, Joe.
Uh-huh. What are you rolling?
Cool check.
A cool check?
Yes.
Do you have a difficulty in mind, or do you want me to give you one?
Give me one.
I will give you, I'll say 2 purple.
Yeah, and a black because you're tired.
And and you know what? 2 purple and a black because you're tired. Just woke up.
Fair enough.
No successes.
That's fair.
3 advantages, though.
Yeah.
Great. Wonderful. I'll give those blues over to Kaya.
Her one green and cool. There's no shot she's ever going to make that.
And how did this news get around?
Maxine, again, flinches and just goes, no one. And covers her mouth.
So not only do you eavesdrop, you also gossip.
She shrinks a little bit. Marcus speaks up and will go, but we are happy for you. That's still true.
Lockhart looks to Marcus.
We also learned your name. A name. A title?
Lockhart was seeming like her posture was calming down a bit, but then she stiffens again. It's like that. It's like resetting the gauge.
Mm-hmm.
Legacy, completely oblivious to like Lockhart being like upset now, looks towards Sprite. It's like, well, I guess it now makes sense as to why you couldn't get her to go on a date with you or anything. First time I've seen you like fall flat on your face when flirting.
I'm good at flirting.
Lockhart just raises one of her hands to her like to cover her eyes and is rubbing her temples like, oh god. It's the first thing in the morning. What the fuck?
Kaya's just gonna step over, just hand on her shoulder. She's just like, yeah, that's kinda on me and Larry. Sorry.
Larry holds up his hands and just goes, I told them not to say it. As if like to say, don't worry. They know they're not supposed to say it.
It's fine.
Sorry.
It's fine, Kaya.
It's not like you were gonna keep the secret for very fucking long.
Apparently not.
I mean, you did talk about, wanting to get used to it some more, so maybe a good thing?
Right? Like puts both hands out and just goes, perfect. We can do nicknames, and gets close to Lockhart and does like almost puts an arm around Lockhart if Lockhart will allow it.
She will.
Right, like saddles an arm around Lockhart's shoulders and just goes, yeah, we can do nicknames. Like I'm drawing a blank right now on any good ones. That I'm not going to suggest that one because it's just going to make you mad. Just let me cook. I can figure something out.
Lockhart, like when Sprite's putting her arm around her, it's not because Lockhart is like letting her in a, oh yeah, we're friends kind of way, but more of like, I'm defeated right now. Oh well,
So
I guess
fucking
this is
tired.
happening too. Yep, that essentially that.
Mm-hmm.
Lacey looks at Larry. Crimson and Juniper.
Kaya just snaps her head to look at Legacy. Okay, so why? That's, I mean, okay, look, that's my middle name. My first name actually is Kaya.
And Lariper.
Lariper?
No.
Larry Lariper?
Larry Lariper.
Are you picking a name for yourself now?
Middle name.
A middle name.
Lariper.
You know what? Sure.
Arm pump.
Fuck it. Makes you happy? Sure. Put in your coding.
Maxine, who has like been secretly watching this over her shoulder, is just like, he's so cute.
Lacey just
Kaya
pats
straightens
his
up.
head.
Prideful. Of like, yeah, he is cute. That's right. So, was it actually, anything important you guys are talking about, or was it just
Gossiping.
I mean, I wouldn't really call it gossiping. I feel like that's just, a little rude.
No, gossiping is if we're talking about bad shit behind your backs. This is all good shit. This is all positive. It's not gossip. Bright just waves a hand dismissively.
And Legacy will like gesture towards the far corner. Cosmic Bingetti and Maxine have been keeping tabs on some of the news, and well, Tetsuo's imploding in on itself.
Oh,
so that's great. We're pretty sure that we know what sector in Alpha we need to get into, because the cops went before a disturbance, and it then they walked away and said it was nothing. So if that's not Tetsuo buying out the cops, I don't know what is. And Legacy like kind of trails off, looks over her shoulder, looks uncomfortable for the first time since Kaya came around the corner. Lindis is up.
Kaya straightens up. Are you sure she is?
He just like gestures vaguely towards the wall, and like, well, you can go check.
Probably should check on her. Has anyone checked on her yet, or?
Lacey shakes.
Resounding head shakes. Just a bunch of people shaking their head no.
Okay. So, does anyone want to join me in checking up on her? I mean, I don't mind. Just. Are you sure? I know you don't really like her.
But maybe. Well, I don't dislike her.
You don't?
We just never really got along.
Oh. Yeah, sure, if you wanna.
I'd also rather be nearby in case she has another freak out.
Probably a good idea.
Lockhart slides her glove on.
Okay, hopefully it doesn't come to that. Look to the others, the rest of the group. Anyone else wanna talk to her for me? Or
Cosmic shoulders his way out. I want to talk.
okay, cool. Gonna look to Legacy. One slight eyebrow raise of like, what about you?
Legacy is very determinedly, like, fiddling with Larry in her lap and, like, leaning against Marcus, not looking up.
Okay. That's an answer.
Sprite will take their arm off of Lockhart's shoulder and then straighten their jacket collar and fix their shirt collar. Not their own. Fix Lockhart's jacket and shirt collar so that it's straight. It's like, there you go. Make you nice and aggressive and hot looking. Done. And then we'll
I
flip
twitch.
backwards over the couch.
Okay. One last pat for Larry. I'm guessing Legacy is taking custody of him.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Larry has things to tell her.
The boy will share such secrets with me.
The boy is a witness to all of the Kai and Lockhart tea, apparently.
Yeah, but you walk back over to Lindis's old door, which you have not gone in since before times.
Yep. All right. Fucking knock knock.
There's a pause. And then you hear, come in. Lindis is standing near her old computer, fingers like lightly trailing over the keys, like she's dusting them off a little bit. And she looks up, and she, of course, looks as prim and tidy and cleaned up as she ever did before all of the fighting had happened. Her hair is done in this poofy, extravagant manner, and she is wearing a different outfit that is from her closet.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks over at you. I wanted to stream, but I didn't think it would be a good idea.
Right. This bitch. What the fuck? It's probably like a pang of like, man, seeing Lindis in her room at her desk setup is just like, more pain. It's gonna swallow that down. And Kaya is just gonna step in. Yeah, probably not the, best idea right now. Do you mind if we come in to talk to you?
She shakes her head.
Cool. Just gonna approach, come in, gesture for Marcus to follow. Not
Cosmic.
Marcus, sorry, Cosmic.
Cosmic will follow.
Other boy. Yeah.
Lockhart will stay by the door. Out here.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, Lindis was the most socially adept one in the group. I was just gonna look at her and just look at Cosmic. How's he doing?
Cosmic, he looks like a little awkward shuffling in place, but it's mostly like he looks like he wants to do something, but he doesn't know if he should.
Kaya's just gonna bite the bullet. It's like, okay, well, fuck it. So, how you feeling?
Linda shrugs. Okay, I guess. Could be worse, but I also could be better. She rubs an arm kind of awkwardly.
And what do you remember?
She's like freezes in an unnaturally still like manner. So perfectly still. And then she starts to move again. I remember this. And she gestures around the room. I remember streaming. I remember you and Legacy getting into arguments over who stole the soldering iron last. I remember trying to fight you all. I remember Mr. Diego bringing me back. She holds a hand out and like touches Cosmic's shoulder and just goes, I remember being your friend. And Cosmic breaks and he will hug her.
Aw.
And she hugs back, then pulls apart. And she looks at you, Kaya. Not without expectation.
Just one more thing before Kaya breaks. And do you remember Too Cute?
There's a twitch at the corner of her mouth. A little. Like a dream. Not fully there, but not gone.
And how do you feel about was it Diego and Tetsuo?
She looks like distant. And you can see like her eyes kind of half lidded. She looks out the window and just goes, I miss when it was simple. When I was just me and him, he entertained me and it was nice. But remembering it, it seems placative. Like he wasn't really trying to be anything nice, trying to be my friend. He wasn't interested in it. But I remember him like a friend. But it feels different. It's like remembering a character from a book. They're always different in the stories.
Okay. And do you wanna go back to him and Tetsuo?
He looks down in a way. I wouldn't mind it if I could go back to him when he was. Go back to him in my memory. The him that I remember fondly. But she shrugs and sighs. I don't think that was ever really him. I don't think that was real. So does wanting to go back to it mean I want to go to him now? I don't think so.
Okay. Kaya's gonna step closer. and put a single hand on Lindis's shoulder. And do you understand the amount of horrific bullshit that he and Tetsuo have been doing about what they did to you? To a lot of people?
She shakes her head. I don't understand the full scope of it. I understand some of it, but not all of it.
Okay. And hypothetically, Lynn, there are some people who want to stop him and stop what they're doing. A lot of people. A lot of good people.
She curls her hands up into fists and like holds her hands closer to her chest and just goes, I want to help you all. I miss my friends and my roommates.
Even if we kind of fucking hate them and don't agree with everything they're doing, with honestly anything they're doing.
I don't know. It's different. Joseph Diego's gone. And the one I remember isn't here anymore. There's just Jonathan. Jonathan didn't care about me. He didn't even pretend to. I don't know what it'll be like to see him again, but I don't know. Maybe it'll be okay.
I just gonna look at her. Does she seem like she's being honest? That seem like we've broken through the fog of Tetsuo rewiring.
Roll me a perception check. At 2 purple.
Perception.
I would also accept if you wanted to do charm or negotiation.
Unfortunately, that is worse. Okay, unfortunately, there isn't a mom friend skill.
There's not.
Fucking rip. Sag. Alright, so you said perception, and I get the 2 blues from Locke, right?
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah? Let's go. Fingies crossed.
Hey, 2 successes. That's all you need.
Okay.
With 2 successes, like Lindis is a good liar. She's a very good liar. But I mean, you've known Lindis for a long time. You lived with her. And I mean, you feel like she's not lying. It doesn't seem like she's lying. It doesn't have the same vibe as a lie she would say. She seems genuine. You've always known Lindis to be one guided by her heart.
Mm-hmm.
And this seems like she's being guided by her heart to you.
Okay. I feel like it's seeing that's when Kaya's like, okay. Now I can hug her.
You hug her, and when you hug her, you can feel her like she. Normally, Lindis, when you remember hugging her, she would squeeze really, really tight against you with like all of her strength because Lindis was not strong. So she could really like try as hard as she wanted to just hug, squeeze the life out of you, and it would not hurt you at all, Kaya. But you could tell that she was trying really hard. But when she hugs you this, or when you hug her this time and she hugs you back, you can feel her be consciously gentle. Like she has to be very careful to not hurt you. But she hugs you back.
Kaya will let go of the hug. Just one head on top of Lindis's head. A little pat, little ruffle. Slight. Doesn't want to mess up her hair too much. But it's a practiced motion.
She wipes like a little tear out of the corner of her eye.
Okay, so I hope that you understand us not wanting you to get too involved at the moment. Because, I mean, when we don't know how you'll
Trust me.
react.
I get it. I'm not your Lindis. I'm just a Lindis. It's okay.
But even if you're not, the Lindis we used to know, I still want to, be your friend, get to know you again. Looks to Cosmic as a gesture of like, who are you?
I'd like to play video games with you again. And she reaches over and ruffles Cosmic's hair like she had 100 times before. Well, like a Lindis did 100 times before.
But, I mean, you're gonna have to give Legs some time. And I think you can help us, but I don't know if right now would be a good idea.
Why not?
There's a lot of stuff happening soon, and it's not that I don't trust you, it's that I don't trust what Tetsuo did to you. So
She
I
holds
think
her arms, like kind of doing the self, like holding herself like she's cold.
And I think that you're going to be a really big help to us in making sure that what they did isn't swept under the rug. But for today, I think it'd probably be best if you just sit home. Maybe stay offline for a bit.
She, in a more traditional Lindis sense, she kind of sours at it and just goes, "That sounds miserable. Stay at home and offline."
Uh, if you're worried about being bored, I mean, there's gonna be some people still here that I'm sure they'd be fine interacting with you, as long as you're okay with
Okay with my children.
yeah, yeah, You always liked Larry, right?
Mm-hmm. He was always weird and fun.
Yeah, so I think that, meeting the other drones will be fun for you, and
She
so
doesn't
you're not
even
gonna
know
be
that
bored.
Larry has a brain now.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of shit's changed. She's gonna look to Cosmic and Lockhart of like, okay, someone tag in.
Cosmic, like, shuffles awkwardly and just goes, I know how to use a gun now. And Lindis just blinks. What? He looks a little awkward. Not sure how to explain, like, the situation to her.
Uh-huh. It's like, yeah, a lot of shit happened after you died.
He tugs at part of his shirt, the hem of his shirt, and lifts it up to reveal he has a gun in a holster strapped to his waist. And Lindis just goes, what the shit?
Cause that safety better be on.
It is. I have good trigger discipline. I even have it locked in the holster right now. And he just jiggles it and it won't come loose.
Okay, good. Pat him on the head.
He turns to Lindis and goes, yeah, I took shooting lessons. It's pretty fun. I could take you to the range and show you how. And Lindis just blinks. You're serious, aren't you? He just nods. Okay. After all of whatever. Maybe. He just nods, totally fine with waiting.
Kaya is just like, please fucking wait. Please wait. Last thing we is her to also know how to use a gun right now. And that's honestly just concern for normal old Lindis. I wouldn't trust her with a gun. Much less robot Lindis. Just turns, and has Legacy made it known about how she feels about Lindis staying here? Kaya, how's she feeling about this?
She has not talked to anybody about it. Nope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just like this is our only option.
I was gonna say, Lindis puts a hand on her hip and just goes, well, something definitely changed. And it's not you. And she looks at Lockhart. You're still dark and lonely. And I don't know where Legacy is. Why is she not here? I don't want to call her a bitch, but I kind of want to call her a bitch.
Kind of cat. Top
She's in
Lindis'
the
head.
living room currently.
Oh,
Oh no.
Stamps her foot just once. And she just goes, Legacy!
Oh, fucking Lynn, I mean, she's busy and...
Busy with what?
The hacker shit? I don't know. Probably talking to her boyfriend?
Roll a deception check.
That's not gonna fucking pan out. What's difficulty?
I hate to tell you this, but it's 3 red and a purple.
Oh my. 3 red and a purple. Let us see how bad this lie is.
Jesus Christ.
Hacker shit. That is about as good a lie as you could expect to fly with Lindis.
Yep.
She's entertaining our guests currently.
Lindis looks over to you and narrows her eyes. You can hear the one cry for your name, Legacy. You hear Lindis yell for you like she has in the past at some point.
Legacy, the router's broken.
Legacy is still like I guess talking to Larry has released him, but is talking to him had relaxed just a little bit, and hears that and immediately scrunches down, and both Marcus and Sprite would be able to see the like semi-feral trapped animal expression immediately.
Marcus puts a hand on your shoulder and he just goes, "You don't have to go in there if you don't want to." Kaya's in there. She'll handle it. Also, for the purposes of you having talked to Larry, I will say that Larry is an open book. He will divulge the entirety of any private conversations that Kaya and Lockhart had.
It's a fucking transcript of every private interaction.
He would tell you, and then end of it add, "Don't tell anyone."
Yeah.
I hope that's okay with you two.
Good to me.
To be fair, like Legacy would want like the fucking transcript. She'd just want an overview of like, oh, it's like, how long has this been? Like, it was literally last night. Were they yelling at each other? What the fuck was Magazine was talking about? People arguing.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
It's gonna be Larry's impression of just like, and then Kaya, and then, well, he never says Kaya. When he addresses Kaya, he says Mom. Mm-hmm. So he would say, and Lockhart said, does his best impersonation of Lockhart, and then Mom said, does his best impersonation of Kaya.
Does he try and do their accents?
I imagine he plays a mixture of saying words with their accent and a soundbite from them. And he is like, but there's a lot of, and then this, and then they said, and then they said, and then they said, and they said, and then they said. It's just that phrase over and over and over, but like as a back and forth dialogue. It is like a dorky kid trying to retell a long and winding story.
I imagine like he just like looks at Marcus and it's like still kind of trapped animal expression. You didn't spend enough time with her to know. Oh, she ruled the roost in this apartment. Gaia can't handle her.
It's only
Marcus.
Again?
I was gonna say Marcus just like puts a hand on his shoulder and on your shoulder, and there is a pained expression on his face that is he is masking with a smile. And the pained expression, Legacy, you can read it from a mile away. It is the pained expression of something like he has thought of something that he thinks is like a critical point of failure. But he's just gonna smile because like he wants to be positive. He's not gonna bring it up.
Legacy is not getting up by any means. But she is also like, oh shit, I'm about to have to talk to people, aren't I? She is once again captured Larry.
When you capture Larry, I imagine you hold him like both arms wrapped around his entire body, and he wraps a manipulator around your forearm.
Oh.
Togepi.
He kind of is the group's Togepi.
Mm-hmm.
Back inside the room, though.
Damage control.
Lindis is a bit petulantly like, why is Legacy not here? And then Lockhart, you said she's entertaining guests, and Lindis just kind of narrowly stares. Just goes, fine.
You know, I think a good compromise here would be messaging her. She'd probably be more open to that and be able to do that more easily when she can.
Did her phone number change?
Has it?
No.
Shakes her head.
You see Lindis's eye light up. Now you remember Lindis had a phone. Mm-hmm. Like any other person had a phone. But Lindis does not pull out a phone. Instead, you see her eye light up for a second and flicker like a TV screen. Just a little bit of a flicker to it.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
And she is sending a message to Legacy.
Yeah,
all that shit is baked in.
Oh, just don't spam her. I mean, she's pretty busy and doing a lot, dealing with a lot.
I know how to talk to my roommate, and I'm also dealing with a lot. Sort of. No, I am dealing with a lot. I'm almost dealing with 2 lots because I am technically your Lindis and also of new Lindis. And that is a lot to deal with. And she crosses her arms and kind of pouts. You can see a little look on Cosmic's face that he's like, yeah, that's definitely Lindis.
Yeah, that's definitely Lindis. And Kaya just shoulders sag a little bit. I feel like she's adopting the okay, being the mediator right now again. She's fallen back into old habits. Fucking moves the hair out of her face. Yeah, I know we're all dealing with a lot of bullshit, but still, try and be understanding if she doesn't respond right away. There's a lot everyone's dealing with.
Fine. Am I stuck in my room, banished forever like a princess in a tower? I'll hang out in here with you. She puts an arm on Cosmic and just rubs his arm a little bit. Thank you. And she looks to you, Kaya.
Kaya looks at her, just like, I mean, there's a lot of people out there, so you might want to wait a bit. But I mean, free to go into my room as long as you know the rules. She looks at her pointedly. So I imagine there were fucking rules that Kaya established for going into her room of like, yeah, no, you can. Just do not touch anything that is on a work table.
You see, at the prospect of going into your room, you see Lindis get like a look on her face that it is a hard to read look. Lindis is a very cautious person, but you see a very, very overt. It's a face that you've seen her make 100 times before in a different life. Lindis never liked going into your room, Kaya.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell me if this is true or not, but I like to think that Kaya could never divine why Lindis never liked going in there.
Maybe. She keeps it as clean as possible. It's just, there's a lot of tools and projects around.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The reason Lindis never liked it is not because it's not like a grease trap mess of a room, but to Lindis, tools are inherently dirty. It's like if you see a hairdryer, you think, oh, beauty salon. If you see a drill and a soldering iron and a socket wrench and a spanner wrench and all these other tools, you think like garage. And so Lindis never liked going into your room because she assumed it was always like there was always a thin layer of thin working grease or like Goo Gone or Gojo on stuff. And so she never wanted to touch anything.
Yeah. And she's just like, okay, the face, she's like, there's probably some people in there you might have fun talking to if you get bored.
You have people in your room now?
She tilts her head. Yeah, looking at Cosmic and Lockhart. Looks back at Lindis. I mean, I think the people.
I'm very lost. You have maybe people in your room.
She nods.
She looks at Cosmic. Cosmic doesn't know what she looks at him for. And so he just nods his head and then looks to Lockhart.
Small nod.
Then looks back to Lindis. Okay. The message that she sent to you, Legacy, by the way, the message you sent is, I guess you don't want to see me right now. That's okay. But whenever you want to see me, it would be nice to see you. Thanks. XOXO Lindis.
Legacy, like, here's the message, come in, knows it's there, and, like, she's just muttering, like, why the fuck did I put my phone in my arm? Why did I put my phone in my arm? Why did I put my phone in my arm? It's the stupidest thing I ever did. What the fuck was I thinking?
How am I supposed to leave people on red? But Lindis is appeased for the moment. She will stay in her room.
Okay. Well, there's gotta be like an offline game her and Cosmic can play, right?
Yes.
Well, those are a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's gotta be so many, like, games that they have access to between the two of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So much. It's like, well, I mean, that's that dealt with for now. We got other shit to do. Did she eat? Probably. Probably.
I love the realization, like, oh, wait, do we have to feed her? Probably.
Fucking goes to turn. Like, yeah, okay, I'll leave you to your game. And wait, do you still get hungry? Like,
yes.
I don't fucking know how you work. I'll go
I'm
eat
still
something up for
me.
you. Oh,
I'm a little more dense. She says that a little bit ashamed. Like she's admitting something private.
okay, well, do you want... Oh my god, Locke.
What?
A lot more.
She kind of mutters it.
Fucking hit at the back of the hand of like, hey, you're not helping. Her fucking shoulder. Fucking... Look, do you want leftover chicken nuggets? We got a fuck ton.
She blinks and thinks about it and then nods.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go do that. Gonna go...
Before you leave, she runs up and gives you a hug.
Aw.
She takes one quick step and then gives you a hug. A little bit tighter than before.
Yeah.
And then she
Tight
lets
hug.
go.
Squeeze back. Yeah, okay, have fun with your video games. I'm gonna go heat up a bunch of chicken nuggets. She'll heat up the nuggets, probably also bring out some for breakfast for anyone else who hasn't eaten yet. How does she deliver some for the gamers? But
You have to feed and nourish the gamers.
Mm-hmm.
Lockhart's gonna look at Cosmic to see you seem chill.
Yeah. He doesn't seem
He's
at
comfortable.
all worried or bothered.
Okay.
Like, as soon as Kaya is like, yeah, I'm going to go make chicken nuggets and do whatever, Lindis and Cosmic exchange a look. And then Cosmic tilts his head towards the computer and mumbles the title of some game. And then they both sit down and immediately bust out controllers and start playing.
Okay.
They have dedicated controllers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
As long as he's comfortable.
Guys, go and rejoin the group after the nugget delivery with some more food. And probably collapse into a chair.
You collapse into a chair. At this point, Veloska and Valerie have also woken up. Valerie, who stayed up probably way into the wee hours of the morning, late, and fell asleep by slumping onto the floor, has now woken up and resumed her position as watchdog. still not moving from this area. But as everyone starts to kind of gather in this room, Marcus will look and say, "So, when are we going?"
Well, let's make sure that we have our bases covered first.
Sorry, not trying to cut in here, but how much longer do you think we're going to be going here?
I was going to say this is probably a good place to wrap it.
Yeah, like I see ending on like, let's make sure we have our bases covered because next time we're just going to launch into the planning.
Yeah.
Next time is logistics. So we can end it here.
Okay. I'm sorry, I just don't want to fall asleep like I did in Spelljammer, so.
That's okay.